Well, when John sent me this, giggling, I could hear him from the house. I mean, we live a mile away from each other. Yeah, we live a mile away. I could still hear him giggling. 3 o'clock in the morning. And he sent it to me, and I'm looking at it like, all right, I'm going to convert this into a standard screenplay format, which makes it look even weirder. When it's actually professionally presented, it's like, okay. But I realized one problem. John had made a mistake. It's a common mistake. When you think, John writes for reading. I write for visual. Okay? John and Kelly sitting at a kitchen table. Well, have you seen my kitchen? It's about the size of this table. I'm sure your kitchen's probably, okay. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. That's not really interesting. We need to shoot this some other Hooters. Because then we could write it off. It's a production expense. It comes out of, see, all movies are funded by OPM. However, the production accountant, wow. I feel sorry for that woman, whoever she's going to be. All right, production accountant in the center is like adding up everything, you know, cutting the checks. They spent how long at Hooters? I've never seen a 4-day production meeting.
But anyway, that's my reading.
So I want to make those. I want to make those. There are certain scenes and set pieces in there that I think would just be really interesting to see. You know, like dropping seals out of a bomber.
I actually figured out how to do that cheap. You don't actually...
You go to a group of seals and say, hey guys, I have a challenge.
Hey guys, I bet y'all can't do this.
Take into the looking glass. I bet you can't do that.
Well, the thing about it is, at this point, I have significant feedback. You know, I've got my connections in the Spec Ops community, and there have not only SEALs, but pretty much everybody who are the jumping fools in the Spec Ops community, which includes significant portions of Special Forces, Delta Force, are all, parajumpers, are all trying to get internal authorization to study jumps out of B2.
This is your fault,
just
John.
Conveniently would be having, a couple HD cameras.
Well, it has to be filmed.
Yeah.
You know, just because, you know, that way they film it with high-speed cameras so they can figure out how the bodies move and everything else.
Convincing the flight wing, though, to bring a flight of jets through the drop zone would be maybe a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, that would be a little bit more difficult.
So
it would be easier than to do a green screen, though.
Shooting a B-2, dropping guys. What do you use for a trail bird? One F-22.
Obviously. And it's new and it's
then you got an F-15 back. Let's take a picture of both. Yeah, it's no. I figured out how to get that one particular shot. What you do is you just do it with a darkened environment with God, what's his name? Romero or whatever. Romero. Or no, the SEAL. Anyway, he's in the clamps, you know, doing the sleep thing. And then the next shot is just he'd start in black, and then you take the camera and you just fire it at it. You know, just run the camera at it really fast with him just screaming, so it looks like he's being fired out of his things. And for the gear, I know all sorts of people like Carl Halo, you're
one of the advantages of being a military fiction writer.
Yeah, one of the fun things about costuming. I mean, Kelly keeps saying, you know, the wardrobe person for the women is going to be, you know, showing up with a shoebox. Because since we don't want it to be actually X-rated, it's going to have to be like bra and panties kind of stuff.
Just show up with what you're wearing. And you'll find out a lot about the people that show up with what they're wearing.
Well, the kind of girls who are going to show up for a show, you know, for a movie like this, as extras, everything having been explained, I mean, basically, you're just going to have to recruit the extras at the strip clubs. you know, and a lot of the girls there are exhibitionists. You know, they think it'd be great to be seen, you know, on TV or, you know, on DVD and nothing but broadcast.
My mother would be so proud.
In some cases, they would. That second story in Ghost was not taken entirely for fiction.
We figured out how to make a PG-13 version of that. It would last 5 minutes. Boat, phone call.
Boom. The really funny conversation that we had, though, was when we were coming up with, because somebody hadn't read Ghost, so I was trying to describe it. And it was, or actually we were just talking about it, and I keep coming up for different descriptions for the second story in Ghost. Because the second story is definitely the one where there are a lot of people, the third story, the scene with Magdalena, is where they get thrown. But the second story is usually where the vast majority of my readership goes, oh, bail out, eject.
Oh, John Ringo.
The description of it was,
20,000 words of bondage surrounded by a hive.
No, it was, well, one of the ways that I say is it's 30,000, when I'm just talking to somebody and trying to explain why they shouldn't read it, I can say it's 30,000 words. It's a 30,000 word story of which 20,000 words are gratuitous bondage porn or gratuitous deep sea fishing and bondage porn.
Deep sea fishing and bondage.
And I just remembered the description that I came up with the other day. It's Ian Fleming crossed with,
I'm trying to remember. Carry these things over the
oh, that's it. It's Ian Fleming crossed with Ernest Hemingway crossed with John Norman.
And their love child.
Yeah.
If those three collaborated, you would get the second story.
And it brings a whole new meaning to the book. The sun also rises.
Yes. Yes. For whom the whip tolls.
We were doing that.
Jim had to off this thing, and it would have probably been self-published.
The old man and the two hot co-eds.
Yeah, the old man and the two. The old man and the
Man that sleeps with chinchillas.
I don't like that one.
That was.
What was that, Mary?
The man that sleeps with chinchillas at night.
Oh yeah. Anyway, doing the first one, you got to be able to do it for pretty low budget when you get right down to it. Cut out a lot of the scenes, collapse a lot of the stuff. You want to get it down to where you can do pretty much half of the movie in one abandoned factory. No actual scenes of the chemical plant whatsoever.
Stock footage?
Well, actually, there's you know, your stock footage. It's just not going to match the great film producing.